So we're very fortunate today to be joining Eugenio Godard. He is the director of IBM's campus here in Guadalajara. And we were just been chatting here for the last few minutes, and one of the things that we find kind of interesting that you've been describing is the fact that it's maybe a misnomer to say that markets need to compete against each other. And there may be more opportunities for complementary working together and things like that. Specifically in the work you're doing here at IBM and what you're seeing out of Guadalajara, what contributions do you think this region could produce in terms of that complementary concept?
I think we can be the hinges of many things that are being either sourced in the Southeast or in India or in Russia, like in the BRIC type of countries, and deployed to the most Western type of cultures, because we've been in both places before. I think we also can bring to the table some value added into the integration of some software and some development. Since we are in manufacturing, it's very easy for us to work with some of the IBM labs to be the kind of their testing grounds or the testing ground for new developments or anything, or new products that will end up being in manufacturing. So we are now also participating a lot with some of the labs that we have across the globe. There's all the things that we are doing for customers and enabling their whatever they're going into the business to business or time of purchase to time of pay. I mean the whole cycle of the business, because we can kind of give them the full source of the solution for the engagements that our service division does. And somehow, since we've been in the software business and we can talk to the machines and talk to the systems and be part of this globalized complexity, it's not so different for us to become with some type of solution that is very appealing to the customers. We have the use what you sell and sell what you use. Well, being a kind of an interesting and very complex site, we have to have pretty sophisticated IT solutions. And once the rest of the IBM gets to know us, it's not so difficult to start inviting other possible customers of IBM to escalate whatever systems or things we do to move forward.
One thing I'd like to talk to you a little bit about is there is some trepidation, some concern, very serious concern in the United States around its economy. They're talking about a double-dip economy. Do you think, what role does Mexico play, either in the sector you cover or just a person living in Mexico, seeing what's going on in the Americas? Do you see more ability for Mexico to be complementary in its relationship with the U.S.?
I don't know. I think we have been so complementary with the U.S. that it's difficult to say that we can get any better, because we're incredibly real-time connected. On the other hand, given that I have been working with sometimes with the Japanese or now more in China, I think it's just a question of how do you scope the thing. So we are right now, everybody's talking about this next dip. But if you take about, not months, but maybe years, maybe a decade or anything, then everything comes to senses, right?
How do you get your teams to adapt to different requirements in different geographies, people speaking different languages? Are there complexities that become difficult when it becomes cultural?
I think two senses is that we've been part of IBM, as you say, 36 years. In those 36 years, I've been in IBM 33. And it's amazing how many different companies I have worked with in those 33. I've been paid by the same company, however, it's like they have changed so many. It's like completely different beast of what it was 10 years ago or 20 years ago when they hired me. When we outsourced and we changed the model and we got rid of the PCs and we sold it to Lenovo, or when we outsourced some of the manufacturing to the tier 2s or the tier 1s with Foxconn and Sanmina and Jabil and all the rest, when we decided to move out of the commodity of the hard files to Hitachi, all of that we suffered in our own skin in Guadalajara. So that makes us very, very realistic about, okay, it's like winning every game, and once the game is over, then you have to prepare yourself for the next game. None of our past is really kind of helpful for the next, of course, the experiences and everything, but we have very I would say, pragmatic in a way. So that helps very much. On the other hand, I think we've been very kind of down to earth, realistic about, okay, what is that we can get into the table and then start networking with most of the IBM divisions or people. My customer, in a way, is the big IBM. So I have to start my networking to figure out who's in trouble, what type of problems they have, whether it's research or is it labs or is it manufacturing or supply chain or is it any type of shared services, and said, okay, can my geography or the offering, whether it's I don't know, an HR problem or financial services or anything, can I offer any of those solutions? And as it had happened, is maybe half a dozen or maybe a dozen different sorts of menus are becoming convenient for some. So I don't have like 60,000 people doing it.
Absolutely.
But I have a very good sample, and all of that is kind of sustainability. When you see the whole campus, we start making sense. I mean, the bigger we get, my fixed costs go down, so it makes me a little bit more competitive in the discrete products that I do manufacturing, which is good. So making more and more software programming at the end will be good for the whole campus. So it's a very interesting model. It's amazing. I've been a manager for maybe 30 years, and I wish I had learned what the guys, the new hires, are now showing. It took me 50 years. I mean 15, not 50, 1-5. And I start thinking about many of those soft skills after my first 10 or 15 years. And now these guys have micro-coded already. So the readiness for them to get into this new area and things are already there. Now, in many cases, is allow them to flow. It's like water. You cannot contain water. The only thing you can do is try to channel them.
Of course.
So I'm already seeing this, that many times the people on the campus get and comes to my office and they ask for permission to do X, Y, Z, and then you put like a face of, let me think about it. And I said, man, they're asking my permission. This is a good idea. Can I work more? Can I be more creative? Can I be innovative? Can I come up? I said, why not? Come on, and let's do it.
Yeah, no, does that the same kind of managerial reaction you would have had 20 years ago?
Absolutely not. I don't think we managers, not only my company, in my kind of a long experience, we were not prepared for that type of thing. We are now, I think, incredibly more respectful with one another because the information is out there. So there are people, for my employees in my company, that know much more about a company that I do, and I'm an old timer. So I know that I manage people that I don't know what exactly they do, that they're more smart than I myself. So it's kind of again, how can I complement them? Now I know I have connections, I have a kind of a business perspective, I can be very enabler, and they do the work. And very soon, I'm going to be reporting to some of them, and it's okay. I mean, it's a completely different field. And it's not only Mexico, this will be prevailing to even the States or anything. I was in assignment in San Jose in the early 90s. It's gone. I mean, it's completely different. It's the different dynamics. Everything is that. Now it's equal. I mean, information is so instantly. We're reading the whatever analysis, financial analysis, or the last words from the CEO at the same time, and the interpretations. And I get the same time, which is like our messenger. Of people, I mean, of course we have the open door policy or anything, so anybody can see my name and the thing and said, oh, you noticed that we have just bought XYZ company? I said, of course not, what is XYZ company? And they give me the full explanation. I said, thank you. And then in my next call I can say, oh, is this company producing any product? Can I get into it? What about doing a business case for sourcing that thing? But maybe the tip was passed by a new hire that is, I don't know, 6 months old in it, I mean. So it doesn't mean that it's all the same level, but it's incredibly more.
Well, you bring up a good point. We'll close on this. I actually have been aware of this a little bit in my own work with IBM in a different capacity, but there's this concept of social business, and maybe you could help me a little bit understand more about how IBM has worked really hard to break down silos and allow for more transparency among different units through internal social networks. In other words, trying to get people to communicate across geographies and things. Do you experience any of that?
Yeah, and all that to give kind of a full view is when IBM made a major change in thought about going out of the proprietary systems, and we embrace open standards, not only for software, for anything else. The real depth in the thought was, okay, we're going to embrace everything, which means 10 years ago we did a kind of a session with bloggers and normal media, and we IBM were kind of again the hinge of these new bloggers dressed completely, I don't know what, tutu, everything, and this press very, very dramatic, and we were saying this is going to happen. And we were trying to promote blogs 10 years ago. I mean, blogs might be off fashion already.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Fascinating discussion.
Good. Thank you very much for your
good
time.
luck to your time in IBM.
Yeah, a lot more to do. Thank you very much.
You bet.
Gracias.
Thank you.